It's Ben here from PeachHack, and I'm at the Giga-bites Cafe Store Championship, and I wanted to record a quick video showing the production that I'm doing for the stream. I know I myself have always been curious as to what goes on behind the scenes in these streams, which is why I made that video about how to do streaming. But I know there's a lot of people who want to see a lot of this more in action, especially with a more complicated setup than just like a camera and a laptop. So I thought I'd record a quick video about it. Sorry for the shaky camera. I'm recording this with my phone, which is the only camera I have left after all the other cameras that I'm using. So let's go ahead and take a look. So this is the current setup of the production area. So right here we have a 2015 MacBook Pro. It's the nicest one I was able to get with the AMD graphics card. 16 gigs of RAM, nice fast i7 processor. Right now here, the software, I'm running vMix. You can find it at vmix.com, and this is just to do the actual vision mixing. So I've got all my sources here. You can see on the right panel is what's live right now, and here on the left is a preview. And so I have all my different scenes here, so I can see like the split view, the main table, and different the different hands and the different players. We have a crowd cam here, obviously the splash screen. So I can preview all of those and then use the different transitions to cut over to them. I also use hotkeys over here to switch to different scenes as I need to. So that's what's doing the actual video production. But I am streaming the whole thing with Open Broadcaster software. So you're able to output vMix as sort of like a camera device that OBS can see. And so I'm just using OBS just to do the streaming because I'm a lot more familiar with it and its settings, and it's more flexible than I think vMix is. Plus I didn't want the single point of failure of vMix, so I'm doing that with OBS. On the screen in general, we also have foobar here for music. I've got right here, this is for the overlays. I'm using Stream Control, which is a program that lets me basically create a custom interface to output XML. So here I'm on the lower thirds tab, so I can put text for the commentators and for the crowd cam. But over here, this is where I mostly hang out as a scoreboard. So I have Swiss, player names, court, runner, score, the time that the round ends for the timer. And I do have a card overlay thing that I use that I didn't use today, but I can type in cards there to say what I do. I also have a level meter so that I can make sure that I'm not being too loud. I've got Twitch chat and just a small browser over here I can do to check things. Particularly, I can look over here at the channel and see how many people are watching, cool stuff like that. So, some more tech stuff. So we've got our audio mixer here. This is a Behringer X1204 USB. It's got 4 XLR inputs and then 2 stereo channels that I can use. So I can do music input and then input from the camera that's coming from the table, so I can hear that. So 3 of those inputs the XLR inputs are being used for the commentator microphones, and one of those XLR inputs is for me so that I can talk to the commentators in their headsets without the stream hearing, so I can talk to them and tell them stuff. So that's kind of the story here. As for capture, I have 5 different cameras that use HDMI input, and to capture that I have a Thunderbolt external enclosure. So this is a PCIe enclosure holding a Magewell 4 HDMI port capture card, and I also have an X-Capture 1 that runs over USB 3, so that'll give me 5 HDMI inputs for my 5 HDMI cameras. I'm also using a Thunderbolt dock here so that I can put in extra USB inputs for the webcams that I'm using, as well as giving me the extra HDMI output because I have the laptop, the external monitor, and then the monitor that the commentators use. And I'll go over there and show that a bit in detail. Also, that gives me the Ethernet jack that lets me connect up to the internet directly. So that's mostly everything that's around here. One more thing, I've mentioned that there are 5 cameras. You probably only saw 4 before. The 5th one here is a GoPro that I'm just using as the crowd cam. And it's just right here next to the production station, so I can just use a short HDMI cable to connect to the X-Capture one. Everything else is going into the Magewell capture card and the PCIe Thunderbolt expansion chassis. The Thunderbolt is a big reason why I got the MacBook. I searched for a long time trying to find laptops that supported Thunderbolt so I could do exactly this. And the choice is basically either a MacBook or an MSI laptop. I think like the M60 it was. I think both of those are probably fine choices. The Mac is working out pretty well for me so far. So yeah, that's basically the basics. Let's take a closer look at the commentary station. Here's what the commentators use. Oops, oh crap, I just bumped the camera. I'll have to fix that in a second. So over here, this is what you see if you're a commentator. So here we are at the desk. We have Audio-Technica BPH-S1 mics, and we have a little headphone amplifier that I got from Monoprice. We got a stand that shows a monitor and the camera for the commentators themselves. Josh has his laptop over here so he can read chat. Then we have notes, things like deck lists and such. Pretty simple. The commentators have to do is sit here, watch the TV, and talk about what's on TV. In terms of lighting, these lights are LED lights. They are Studio Pro 600 or S600Bs. The reason I got these lights is so that I could better control the color temperature. So they have 2 knobs back there for tungsten light and daylight. So this is 5600K, this is 3200K. So I can reduce some of that daylight, too much brightness stuff. Alright, so that's this area. Let's take a look at where we're actually recording. So this is the actual camera station where we're doing the recording. I have got 5 cameras set up here. All 3 of these cameras, these are Canon Vixia HFR 50s. I would recommend HFR 600s if you were to get something like this. The camera over for the commentators is a Panasonic, what was it? HCV 770 is what it is. So that's what these cameras are. I have connected with these little arms. These are just Logitech C920 webcams. So it's a mirror, so this lets me see the hand, and this lets me get a view of the player themselves. And then an identical setup over here. And then, of course, the lights here, these are Limo Studio. This lights, I think this whole set with the lights and light bulbs and stand is like 80 bucks on Amazon. And so it's only daylight light, but this is probably overkill in terms of number of lights, but whatever. Also here, the microphone I'm using, that's a Rode NTG2, or Rhoda, or however you pronounce it, NTG2. And I have the XLR input going into the table microphone, and then I'm capturing the audio, the table camera microphone, and I'm capturing the audio from over HDMI from the table camera into the capture card, and that's how I'm getting table audio that way. This mat is just something that I got from Inkplay Mats. I whipped it up online. It's just a 2-player mat. It's pretty cool. Anything I'm forgetting? Oh, the cables. So I've got 2 50-foot USB cables and 3 50-foot HDMI cables. I got those all from Monoprice. They're Redmere. The HDMI cables are just the Redmere brand, whatever that means. Anyway, that lets me run 50-foot HDMI all the way back to the commentary station. So, that was a lot. But that's kind of the basic rundown of my current setup in terms of production. I mean, honestly, if a professional is ever watching this, you could probably see a lot of ways to improve it. I am an amateur at the end of the day. This is stuff that I do for fun. But I'm always trying to change and improve and find things that I can do to make it better. So the next time I stream, this is probably going to be different in some way. This is a different configuration of cameras that I used last time. So it's an experiment. I feel like it's working out pretty well. So yeah, that's the basic rundown. I hope that those of you out there who are into production porn like this enjoyed it. and people who just like doing Netrunner videos or other kinds of videos, streams out there, whether video games, Magic the Gathering, whatever. I hope you enjoyed it. This is Ben from PeachHack, logging off.